Hey, what's up guys, TinyBP here, and today we're doing another tier list. That's right, now we're doing a tier list of another one of my favorite bands of all time, Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is pretty much the soundtrack of most of my college days. If my hair looks weird, that's because I just showered, and I'm doing this right before I go to bed, so it's just kind of weird. But anyways, Iron Maiden is pretty much the soundtrack of my high school days. You know, everyone else is just kind of listening to rap and kind of stuff, and I was just listening to a bunch of Iron Maiden and getting used to a bunch of, let me adjust this real quick, and discovering a lot of like that kind of heavy metal stuff, including this, Judas Priest, rediscovering Metallica, which I listened to when I was very, very young, and yeah, so, but Iron Maiden was really the big one. You know, at that time I saw Iron Maiden 6 times. And I've pretty much listened to every single record pretty much religiously, ever. So, you know, that's kind of the expertise, if you will, that I have going into this. And yeah, let's not dilly dally anymore. Let's go on. And also, I recognize that in the last Rush video, I kind of rambled a lot. So this time I'll try to be as short as brief as I can. But here, I'm kind of dumb. I meant to press the transition button, but I pressed the stop recording button, so yeah, that's fun. Anyway, so I'm actually going to update this, not listen to, because I listened to them all, and just make it F. So there you go. Alright, let's get started, shall we? So, first one is Iron Maiden, the first record. Yeah, the songwriting I believe is S tier, no doubt about it. It's you know, you got songs like Phantom of the Opera, which is amazing. Ring Freeze, pretty catchy, pretty cool. Transylvania, I love. What's that song called? That's very like the slow song. The only place where you can dream, whatever. That's one's good. Strange World. That's a fantastic song too. Very, very underrated. I hope they play it live sometime. But yeah, Charlotte the Harlot is also one of my favorite songs from them. It's very, very, very cool. But everything else is just kind of sucks. I mean, that doesn't kind of suck. The production just sucks, and that's really the only thing keeping it down. Like the mix itself just doesn't have any, you know, low end or solid top end. It's just a lot of mids. Like my friend Billy says, it's a very AM radio like. And it's just, that's the only thing that really keeps it down. But yeah, this album's fantastic otherwise, so I'll just put it in A, because I can have it as a compromise. If the production was top tier, I would make it S, but yeah, it is what it is. Now, the production on this record is fantastic. However, the songwriting, I don't believe really is, and that's why I'm going to put it in B. There are some fantastic songs on there, don't get me wrong. Songs like Wrathchild, Murders in a Rue Morgue, fantastic. Killers, their style track's good. Sanctuary, not Sanctuary. I don't remember the song. Drifter is great. And yeah, all the songs great. However, there's a bunch of songs in here like you know, Genghis Khan and there's an Exile and other stuff that I just kind of like skip. You know, it just kind of go that one. You just kind of like slog to kind of like listen through a little bit. But yeah, I mean that is what it is. Got some good songs, but some not so good songs. Production is great. Adrian Smith on guitar for this one did a fantastic job. Good replacement from the guitar player on this one. Or one of two. You know what I mean. I assume most people watching this are fans and they kind of know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Next album, S tier. Number of the Beast is the best album of all time. In fact, the transition again. Last time I showed the 2112. This one, have a very, very cool story about this one. This is an original 1982 pressing, U.S. pressing of Number of the Beast. It's got the little blue kind of tint to it. And when I was a huge fan of Iron Maiden, I bought this. I used to live in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I actually called a little record shop I knew in New Hope, which is like a half an hour from where I lived. Just dropped it. Being very careful with these guys. And they said they had it for $40, just an original pressing, and I just went up there, Got whatever money I did, and I just bought it, and never really looked back. It's still one of the greatest records I have in my collection to this day, and the mix, it sounds great on that one, better than the remasters. But anyway, back to this. The songwriting is fantastic on this one, even better so. The new vocalist Bruce Dickinson really gets the ball rolling on this record. There's only really one song I dislike on it. It's like the opening song, Invaders. It sounds pretty cool, but it's like the invaders that's kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But other than that, it's a fantastic record. All the songs are pretty much top tier. The Prisoner is another underrated one off this one. Hallowed Be Thy Name is fantastic. Number of the Beast is fantastic. Children of the Dam is fantastic. Gangland even is fantastic. 22 Acacia Avenue it's good. Not nearly as strong as the other ones, but it's still good. So yeah, this one's S tier. Now, this one I feel like a lot of people want to put in S tier, but I'm gonna put it in B, and that's gonna be very controversial. Yeah, for a lot of people. But the thing is, side A of this album is S tier. You know, Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of the Icarus, Die With Your Boots On, The Trooper. I mean, come on. But then you get the songs like Still Life. That's pretty good. And then Quest for Fire. That kind of sucks. And then Sun and Steel. That's pretty good. And then Dune. Or actually not Dune. To Tame a Land. It was once called Dune, but then Frank Herbert just kind of waved that away, I guess. It's like, this is kind of okay, whatever. But it's, in my opinion, this is just kind of, it kind of sucks. So side A is great, side B is not great, so and kind of gets the middle road. It's got a B tier. This one, however, is S tier immediately. Power Slave. There is not, I can't think of any more of an iconic album that came from this band. You know, whenever people think of Iron Maiden, they almost instantly think of something from Power Slave. Whether it be 2 Minutes to Midnight, Aces High, the title track, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, a bunch of other songs. Flash of the Blade I like. Last the Raw is a good instrumental from those guys in this record. Back to the Village I like. And yeah, it's just a very, very iconic record. A lot of very, very iconic things came from Maiden in this era, so yeah, definitely S tier in terms of an iconography. Now another S tier, sometimes I bounce this between S tier and A tier. I don't think it's really as strong as Power Slave, but I also love a lot of songs on it. You know what? S tier. Why not? Because you know, you got Heaven Can Wait is one of my favorites from the band, and it didn't get a lot of love. It got a lot of love on this recent tour. But you know, it just doesn't get as much love as we wanted. If it were to me, I would play it at every show. You know. But yeah, you got Caught Somewhere in Time is great. Wasted Years, another classic Iron Maiden tune. Heaven Can Wait, of course. Sea of Madness is pretty good. You got Stranger to Strange Land is fantastic. Deja Vu is a nice kind of key change. You know. I like that one too. Alexander the Great is probably one of the best longer format songs that they have, and yeah, definitely a great album closer. So yeah, S tier. Another S tier. I'm swear I'm not gonna put all of these in S tier, but another one in S tier is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I actually know someone who doesn't like this album as much as I do, or thinks this album should go down here, but I disagree. This goes up here. These Iron Maiden took a lot of risks, a lot of progressive risks when coming up with this album. The whole concept of the album, which is the seventh son of a seventh son from an unbroken line of 7 male kids, whose dad is also from an unbroken line of 7 male kids, who gets the gift of secret sight and all this kind of weird stuff. And yeah, it's a pretty, very, very amazing kind of concept album. All the songs on there are so great. You know, Moonchild is fantastic. Infinite Dreams is another unrated one. Can I Play with Madness is great. The title track is great. The only song that I really dislike on this one is The Prophecy, which is like right after 777, which is kind of like boring. It's like, I can live without it. Clairvoyant's great. Only the Good Die Young is a great closer for everything. The fact that it ends with the same acoustic sort of ballad as the beginning is very, very fantastic. Very much closes the thing there. So yeah, definitely S tier for sure. Now this one is my least favorite Iron Maiden album of all time. I kind of want to put an F tier because it's boring. Very just kind of like, they feel like this thing was trying to do what all these did and just failed like miserably at it. This album saw the departure of guitarist Adrian Smith for Yannick Gers, who still plays with them today. But they did lose a very, very good songwriter from those records. And Tail Gunner is not good. Holy Smoke is pretty good. The title track's not good. Running Silent and Running Deep is, I think that's a good song. Bring Your Daughter to Slaughter, I think, is really, really good. Which, fun fact, the original version of the song made by Bruce Dickinson, the singer, kind of his solo project, won the Golden Razzie Award after its use in, I believe, one of the Freddy Krueger movies that just didn't do so well. Yeah, let's go. But actually, now that I think about it, I still don't like it. Mother Russia just sucks. I'm sorry, it just sucks. A lot of these songs suck, but you know what? I feel like this should just go in D because there are some stuff that I like about it. I think 2 or 3 songs, but yeah, it's still so good. This album goes above it in C tier. It's still not as overall as a package, not as good as a lot of this stuff here, but it is a lot better. Big step up from this one. Fear of the Dark, of course, the title track. Now they play it at every single show because it is one of their best songs. Be Quick or Be Dead, you know, that's a fantastic one. The Afraid to See Strangers is not good. Wasting Love is a good ballad, you know, and just kind of like first attempt at a kind of a sappy kind of ballad. It's you know, it works, I guess. Definitely not very, very strong lineup, but it is a pretty good album, and I'll give it a C tier, kind of middle of the road. I'm being concerned. Another middle of the road one is X Factor. This saw the departure of Bruce Dickinson as singer for a folk named Blaze Bayley, who did I think I did a pretty good job, especially with a darker kind of atmosphere of these songs that are on here. This is a very, very dark Iron Maiden album, much more kind of a depressing album compared to you know, everything else they've done so far. I think there was a story about like how Steve Harris had a divorce during the album, and that kind of bled through some random crap, whatever. Yeah, Sign of the Cross is the song they play nowadays. Lord of the Flies, I think, is good. There's a live version on the Death on the Road, I think, that I really like. Man on the Edge is a good one. Look for the Truth I think is good. There's a little bass solo on one of the songs. I forgot what it was. Yeah, a lot of it is pretty forgettable because the songs just kind of blend together and just kind of thing. There's a song called 2 a.m. that I really like. It's very much kind of that sad sort of thing. It's like, here I am again, on my own, like that kind of thing. It's like, it's very cool. If you don't think this album is good, I recommend you give it a second listen and see what you like. But for now, it's just kind of middle row C tier. But this album joins. I kind of want to put it on D tier again. Just joins them, even though there are a few songs in there that I really, really love. Like, actually, there's only 2. There's only 2 songs I like on here. There's Future Real and The Klansman, which is probably the best of the Blaze Bayley era songs. But everything else just kind of sucks. Angel the Gambler is just trash. Educated Fool, not really good. Domo Estas Amigos. Like, what the hell were they even thinking? So yeah, not very good. Definitely D tier there. I kind of want to put in the F, but there are some stuff that I like. I got it. Same as No Prayer for a Dying. So I think the F tier is kind of redundant, but whatever. But this one, Brave New World. I'm gonna put this one in S tier. This is probably one of the best comeback albums of all time. I've just realized that now there's more S tier albums than there are A tier albums. Whatever. I love No Prayer, not Prayer for that. Brave New World. The lineup of songs is just phenomenal. From The Wicker Man to Ghost of Navigator to the title track Brave New World. Blood Brothers is great. The Warrior, the Mercenary is fantastic. Dream of Mirrors is a really good ballad. One of the probably better ballads they've done. The Nomad is one of those better ones they do. Out of the Silent Planet is one of my favorites, and probably my favorite closing song from Iron Maiden, apart from these two. The Thin Line Between Love and Hate is just a heart-wrenching song. I love it. This album is fantastic, especially in some of the media that came across it, like Rock in Rio and all that kind of stuff. It's just a phenomenal album. One of the best comeback albums of all time, next to, I believe, like Alice in Chains' Black Gives Way to Blue, which I might do a ranking of Alice in Chains songs next. We'll see. Put it in the comments. We'll figure it out. And then there's this one, Dance of Death. I'm going to put this in A. I feel like they're going on the same trajectory as Brave New World. There are some songs in here that are just kind of a little lackluster, like Rainmaker is okay, but same way as this album's fantastic. There's fantastic ones on this album too, like Dance of Death, Bon Sisagur, No More Lies, which they should play a lot more, and Face in the Sand. How was that one? What a war song they did. Whatever. Passchendaele. That was a good one. Even the closing one of this one. There's kind of a whole acoustic ballad at the end. The Journeyman. I really love that song too. So it's overall a fantastic album. Just not as strong as this one. A lot of the stuff here. But it is a fantastic. Whenever I'm traveling, I usually pick up this one. It's just feels like a traveling sort of record, Now this one, I feel like a lot of people want to put this one in S, but I want to put it in A. This is another fantastic concept album about war and stuff. Okay, maybe except for one song, which is Reincarnation of Benjamin Bragg, which is just about a reincarnation of a person. But it's all about war. It's all about violence. It's all about being a soldier, scared to death in the front lines, for the love of God, for the greater good of God. For the love of God is Steve I. Whatever. For the greater good of God is another fantastic one. When the one that they play nowadays, even. This is very, very strong album too. I just wouldn't put it on S tier because there are some songs that I could have skipped that, like The Lord of Light is a skip. It's kind of like a slugfest to get through. Benjamin Bragg is kind of it's alright. There's kind of stuff like that where it's just there's a ton of great stuff on this record, but not everything's like a banger, Yeah, so it's just A tier for that. This is kind of where you feel like this album is kind of where the Iron Maiden formula kind of dies, kind of gets stale, gets old. Final Frontier. There's a lot of good ones on this one too. I really like The Talisman. Is great. Where the Wild Wind Blows is another kind of heart-wrenching one. The album. The Final Frontier, the title track is really good. El Diablo is a fantastic, heavy sort of driving song. Coming Home is another cool ballad, but everything else is kind of just long-winded and just sort of stale, you know, which is kind of like a pattern for a lot of the post 2000s Iron Maiden stuff, including this next one here. Now this is the long songs. This one, Book of Souls, I like better than the long songs on here. It was a little bit of bias because this is around the time I first started getting the Maiden, and the first real heavy metal shows that I've ever been to, like the big arena ones, were Iron Maiden, and they were touring for this album. So I do get to see there's a little bit of nostalgia points there that don't apply there, which kind of whatever. But songs like the Red and the Black, I really do like that one. But I can see how people think like, it's a little long-winded. Book of Souls, the same kind of thing, you know. If Eternity Should Fail, another good one. Speed of Light, yeah, it's a good single. Trying to think of more, but yeah. Tears of a Clown was a good one. Good sort of ode to Robin Williams and the things that he did in life. So yeah, overall, it's a good album. Solid kind of B tier kind of thing. How could I forget the last one? Empire of the Clouds. That's a fantastic 18-minute record. And as you know from my Rush one, I love like 18-20-minute songs. So just 18-20-minute Iron Maiden song was just fantastic, you know, especially with the whole piano ballad coming in the back. You know, it's just great, you know. But yeah, the last one, Senjutsu, is kind of like the same with this one. It's just very kind of boring, especially so. You kind of the album opens with a kind of a snooze fest. And there's only a few songs here that are really just like, whoa, this is good. Those songs being Writing on the Wall, which is their main single for the record. The Death of the Celts, which I think is just kind of like a more basic version of the Klansman. But it's still a fairly cool song. You know, I liked it when they played it live. And Hell on Earth is the closing one. Is just, you know, a very, very cool one. Maybe not as strong as a closer as Empire of the Clouds, but I really love that one. It very much just reminds me of a lot of stuff that you can hear on these records, you know. And yeah, that's kind of basically it. So there's my tier list. Again, feel free to screenshot this and make fun of me in the comments. And yeah, this is my Iron Maiden tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you guys so much for watching the bass playthrough videos and a bunch of the Sunday with Ola stuff. That really does mean the most that you guys sort of engage with that. I think the last one got like 500 views, which is just about the most as I've gotten of a lot of my videos, except for this one Halo creepypasta thing that I did a while back. Just got like a 1,500 or something like that. But yeah, that's basically it for the Iron Maiden stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope the music isn't mixed as loud as it is here, and hope I can get some sort of like normalization on the voice here. So yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay awesome, and see you later, Space Cowboys. Have a good one.